Welcome to the Los Alamitos Weekend Preview here. I'm your host, Jose Contreras, alongside Mike Wrona, the voice of Los Alamitos. Michael, what part of the world are you reporting to us from?
Yes, mate, the drapes behind me would belong to a hotel room at the Harrah's Rincon Casino. I know that it's a place you're quite fond of. I would have liked to have had the drapes open, actually. Could have shown you the lazy river down below, but too much backlighting. But that's where my wife is currently spending a few hours poolside, and we're down here for a couple of nights because Tony Kalo, good old mate of mine, long-time announcer at Golden Gate and Bay Meadows, and more recently works at Finger Lakes in New York, is flying into town. And there's a few of us getting together over some ales this afternoon around Fallbrook, where Tom Farrell now resides. He was the long-time Bay Meadows and Golden Gate publicity director. Ellis Davis, a terrific bloke, long-time chart caller for Equibase, will be on board. So it's going to be a bit of a session, mate, after we take care of this Thursday afternoon recording of our preview show. In fact, I'm quite confident that not long from now I'll be speaking fluent Portuguese.
Well, good to hear it. That sounds like quite a quartet teaming up later on there in the San Diego County area. The voice of Tony Kalis is a very recognizable voice for us that kind of grew up watching the Northern California circuit. I like how you used to, sound out those R's with Russell the Muscle.
That's right.
With Russell Bay. Yeah. So Tony Kalo, recognizable voice. He's at Finger Lakes, right? That's what you mentioned. Yeah, Finger Lakes. Yeah,
upstate New York. Yeah, he has a niece graduating in California and has ventured out this way for an overdue visit for a few days. So looking forward to getting together.
All right, so let's talk about this weekend's card at Los Alamitos, Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And Saturday night, we're going to talk about Saturday night's card. We got 3 trials for the Vessel's Maturity, and that's going to be a nice trio of trials. Lots of classy runners in those trials, Michael.
Oh, for sure. Important stepping stone to the champion of champions. Yeah. And I suppose the Cahuilla Bar back on April 30 would prove one of the key lead-up races. You'll see several horses out of the Cahuilla Bar spread across these trials to the Vessel's Maturity. Now, when we did the preview show in late April for the Cahuilla Bar, Uppy's Up was coming off a very long layoff. I got drawn into picking him for the preview show just because he came up with the outside post position. I thought he might have been a run short, and there's no question that he would have improved from that run coming into these Vessel's Maturity trials. But I just didn't want him winning without me, Jose.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, he was not up to the task. He finished a couple of lengths from the winner, which was Circle City, whom he faces again in this race tonight. Can he make up 2 lengths on Circle City? Well, that's a really tall order, but again, he has the fortuitous outside draw. He's decent odds, and I feel obliged to come back and pick him again. I'd look pretty silly if he won this weekend without me.
That's our handicapper's kind of a motto. I can't let this horse beat me, right? If I picked him last time. So here's Up is Up in the Cahuilla. It was a pretty uneventful trip, but like you mentioned, this was off of a lengthy layoff that night on April 30th.
Yeah, he's right down the outside. He finished 2 lengths behind Circle City, the grey, who is such a classy customer. And but what's interesting is that there's the same progression of races from last summer. Up is Up was in the Cahuilla Bar in 2021 and was again beaten 2 lengths. Circle City ran 3rd in last year's Cahuilla Bar, beaten a length. Now, in the Vessel's Maturity trial, Up is Up improved greatly, and he won his trial, beating Circle City, then unfortunately was sidelined again through injury and had to miss the final, which Circle City came out and won. So we already see the proof that Up is Up at his best can match strides with a horse of Circle City's quality. He beat him in a Vessel's Maturity trial last summer. So he can do it again. He's a lightly raced horse who's had injury problems. You know, he's the lowest earner in the field. He's not of the elite level yet. But this race and the Vessel's Maturity final, if he makes it to the final, will really give us a guide on whether he can become a serious player in the second half of the year. and I think he's got it in him to take a hand in some big races. So let's give him a chance at 6-1 on the morning line versus even money for Circle City to make up some ground off that first up run in the Kauai Bar, improve in fitness, and he might be able to make it interesting at the finish at good odds.
And this is going to be the first of 3 trials in the evening. So race number 8 will be the first of 3 trials, 400 yards. Circle City expected to be the favorite there in the first trial. We don't have the morning line out. Do you have the morning line out? I haven't.
I
looked
do.
At it.
Yes.
All right.
Circle City is even money favorite. And
Okay.
if he breaks as sharply as he did in the Kauai Bar, there's probably no beating him. You Can Run is coming back from the rail, hasn't been seen since the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship. He is 3-1. And from the outside, Up is 6-1. Along with a very interesting horse, number 3, C Special Jess, whose allowance races so far this year locally have been very good. He's not without a shot. But that's the kind of odds discrepancy that has me thinking Up is worth a chance here. He's 6-1 versus Circle City even money. And he's got the good draw again. He was able to win an equivalent race in the Vessel's Maturity Trial last year, beating Circle City. So let's just see how much improvement there is from that Kauai Bar run off the long layoff.
All right, that's the first trial of 3 trials for the Vessel's Maturity on a Saturday night at Los Alamitos. The top 10 fastest times will advance to that classy final, which holds a berth into the the prestigious Champion of Champions at the later half of the year in December. So, Mike Wrona, I'm with you. This is kind of my handicapper's hat here. If I have a horse that I like last time out, I'm willing to give him one more shot so he doesn't beat me. And I think that's where you're going here with Up is Up.
Absolutely. I was going off half-cocked last time. I figured he probably would need the run, but I didn't want him sneaking in there without me on him because I really have felt for a long time like he can measure up to the top company. But this is the race where he needs to step forward, show he's a serious player in these elite older ranks. And I'd be going for the razor blades, mate, if I dropped off coming into this weekend and he stuck his nose out in front at the finish. So we've got to try again, and let's see what happens.
All right, Michael, have some chips and salsa down at Rita's Cantina and a few margaritas for me at the Lazy River. That sounds like a plan.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
The traditional $2 Pick Six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. On Sunday, June 5th, the Pick Six had a season-high payout of over $76,000, and the total Pick Six pool was over $128,000. On March 27th, the total Pick Six pool was a meets best $320,000. Plus, on Sunday nights when there's not a carryover, Los Alamitos continues to add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool. Talk about some good old-fashioned Pick Six excitement. The traditional $2 Pick Six, a great bet, a great deal, always at Los Alamitos.
Burns Ranch Stallions are strong in major stakes. Favorite Cartel sired 7 Grade 1 qualifiers in a single weekend.
DKAA will go 2 for 2, defeating A Political Jet.
Walk Through Fire also sired an Edberg finalist. He and Separate Interest each qualified 2 for the Los Alamitos Oaks. Burns Ranch also stands Fly Through the Fire, Mental Error, Foose, and MP Shining. Let Burns Ranch help you plan your racing future.
All right, we're back with the man of the hour, Christopher Wade, fresh off of a nice pick winner last week, Chris. It was More Than Chance, who was a longest shot on the morning line there on Saturday night and got the score. Finally broke well. Actually, didn't break all that well, a little bit of a bobble, but got into that rhythm and finished strongly.
Yeah, he back bobbled and still got up and he got up to win over over the favorite there and got him right on top of the wire and goes in the gate at 5-1 and wins the race at 7-2 and did it pretty nicely and pumped up the nice late pick 4 and yeah, nice return.
Yeah, it was a nice selection by you. Nice analysis that we talked about. It was Oscar Peinado riding for the first time, and despite the stumble, was a very, very nice win. That was last Saturday with More Than Chance. All right, taking a look at Saturday night's card, we have three trials for the Vessel's Maturity, a very important stepping stone into the Grade 1 champions later in December. But the Vessel's Maturity trials, 3 divisions, races 8, 9, and 10. We talked to Mike Wrona. He gave us a selection in race number 8. What race do you want to take a look at?
I'm taking race number 9, Mr. Tornado horse. who does come out of the same race as Michael Wrona's horse, Up. But this horse, 2 races, he lost all chance in his last race. This is not a very big animal, not very is not very big at all. So with those kind of horses, this horse needs everything to go perfect for him to win, much like his effort 2 races back. A little fractious, 2 races back, and bobbled and skied, but finished very, very well to win rather handily at a big, big price, and draws the outside post here tonight. And if he breaks and runs to that prior effort, he's got a big look there in tonight's 9th event. A nice little price there, 7-2 in the program.
And he's getting the same outside post that he had in that upset win where he won at nearly 17-1. But let's take a look at the Cahuilla Bar. This was on April 30th. A lot of these runners that are entering in these trials are running back from that race. So this could prove to be a key replay. But Mr. Tornado had gate number 5, right? Yeah, gate 5 here, the number 5 horse, Mrs. Tornado, and he was just under 9-1 that night.
Yeah, he was moving a little bit inside the gate, but leaned back at the start and lost all chance away from the barrier to a good group of horses. Broke slow, was bumped back and crossed, gave up a number of lengths and any chance he had to get a piece of the pie. He was basically under a hand shove throughout, tapped a little bit midway, but finished better than looked. And like I said, not a very big animal, but has ability and was trying on late there at the wire. Galloped out relatively, but draws that outside post in that field of 6. And if he runs back to his prior effort, he's got to look to spring a little minor upset there in the 9th race.
Yeah, he gets reunited with Henry Lopez, who was aboard for that upset win 2 starts ago. So he's looking to bounce back with a much better performance. And I don't have the morning line in front of me. Do you know what's the morning line for Mr. Tornado?
Yeah, he's 7-2 in the program.
7-2 on the program in a field of 6 runners here. Outside post there, and that is the second of 3 divisions of the Vessel Maturity race number 9. I believe the morning line favorite is Valiant, right? The one along the inside?
Yeah, I think he's down on a 2-1, something along those lines in that the 9th event, 3rd time over the track.
You can see a field of 6. Again, top 10 fastest times of the night will advance to that final of the Vessel Maturity. Chris is trying to go back-to-back weeks here. Nice winner last week. Mr. Tornado gets the outside post. 1992 was his time from that upset win 2 starts ago at 60-1. But you look at the rider change. Henry Lopez, he's comfortable with him. Outside post, lots of things to like about Mr. Tornado. It is Belmont Stakes weekend, this Saturday across the country. So you have usually some of the night signals, Chris, are kind of racing daytime to kind of capture that on-track crowd for the Belmont Stakes. So do you have any other simulcast signals that are you tackling for the night lines or just focusing on Los Al?
Well, of course, we are focusing on Los Al, but we did handicap races 3 through 8 at Delta Downs. One of the tracks, we do 2 circuits. We do Los Alamitos and we do Louisiana, anything Louisiana. We do the numbers on those, so we do pretty well there. The numbers last week at Delta were not too bad, and we like a couple of horses for Adrian Vallejo, who does have a number of horses back there this racing season. In race 5, Little Boy Blue, actually race 4, Little Boy Blue drawn outside, ran a very strong race last time with some trouble along the way. Figures tough in that 4th event, and she has another one. Christopher's Corona in the 5th race, like 8-1 program, had a trouble trip last time, but had some run and has a look at a little bit of price in that 5th race. So take a look at those selections we have at Delta Downs and see how we do.
I mean, with that name, Christopher's Corona, you have to get involved. I mean, come on, that's an automatic Chris's pick right there. With
that's an automatic play, no matter what.
That is right. All right, best of luck with Mr. Tornado. Thanks a lot for that winner last week. We'll see you out there this weekend at Los Al.
76 runners competed in the Ed Burke Million Trials. And after a great night of quarter horse racing action, the list of 10 finalists is set. Ain't He Tempting finished as the fastest qualifier, while El Vectorero, Quirky Biddy Jess, and DKAA stayed unbeaten. They'll join the fastest qualifier in the $1 million final. A great race is on tap on Father's Day, Sunday, June 19th. The Ed Burke Million Final. The best is always at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. Now joined by Professor G, and fresh off of the pick six score. Was it last week, Professor? One player took down a gigantic score there in the pick six. One of the better payouts this season.
Jose, we've had back-to-back Sundays where we had our highest pick six payouts of the meet. So 2 Sundays ago, it was $29,000. That was the season high up to that point, because last Sunday, one player took down the pick six for a $76,000 payout. In that pick six, the pool for the pick six was a total of over $128,000 in the Los Alamitos pick six here. So it just continues to increase. It continues to grow. It's a great deal for the players even when we do not have a carryover, because remember, we continue to add that $10,000 stipend into the pick six pool, that pick six promotion that we have going. So you know that on Sunday nights, you're either going to have a carryover or you're going to have $10,000 of seeded money in the pick six. So a great deal for the players, and good to see some sharp handicappers there taking down a big score.
And it was, I think the carryover was only $16,000. So that was a very nice, healthy new money added by the players into that Sunday card. And to combine with the pick six, so many new eyes were looking at that card because of the carryover. The late pick four pool outdid the early one, if I remember correctly. I believe the early one was in the 205, 206 range, and the late one went like 216, 220 range there for the late pick four.
Yeah, that was also a season high late pick four pool as well here at Los Alamitos. So speaking of that, we have to thank our racing fans, our viewers that are out there supporting the program, the Los Alamitos racing program. One of the reasons that we went to 2 nights a week was to try to provide as good of a racing product as possible, and we're continuing to strive for that. We have to thank our fans as well as our owners and our trainers, our jockeys, all of them that put on the great show, the horses, of course, that put on the great show here at Los Alamitos. So thank you all, especially those viewers that are watching us right now.
And it was a night of like photo finishes left and right. Thoroughbred, quarter horses, short races, long races. There were photo finishes, I think, in the majority of the races. So a lot of those bobs could have gone either way in some of those key legs. So, but great job and best of luck to the players getting involved with the pick six on a weekend basis here at Los Alamitos. Talking about this weekend, Professor G, we got 3 trials for the vessel's maturity, which is a very important stepping stone into that Grade 1 prestigious Champion of Champions.
Absolutely. We got 20 horses going in 3 trials. Those trials will be held at 400 yards. And from the 20 horses that are trying to vie for a final 10 spot to the vessel's maturity, we have 4 Grade 1 winners and a total of 8 stakes winners. So some outstanding competition going on. We have the champion 3-year-old gelding from last year, Impressum, making his Los Alamitos debut. He's raced 1 already this year, finishing 2nd in the Sunland Park Championship. Of course, Circle City, one of the top older horses on the ground, and the defending Vessel's Maturity winner. He is back, and he's actually going to be running in the opening trial. There's a couple of other Grade 1 winners that are in that field. You can run up there, and also I believe it's Belcheck. That's also part of this field. There's the 5 Just a Dasher Hero winner of the Town Policy Handicap last season. So right off the bat, trial number 1, we have 3 Grade 1 winners, 4 stakes winners overall, and a couple of other very interesting horses. C Special Jess finishing 2nd in his last start. Old School Icon, a multiple graded stakes finalist as well. So right off the bat, trial number 1 is full of very salty competitors, very strong field.
Yeah, and we'll dive in a little bit deeper into these trials there, but I want to rewind it and go back into some of the maiden events that are going to be part of the Pick Six sequence, Orlando, because I thought it was notable because of the competitive of these maiden events, races 5 and 6. This is where the pick six begins, but also because we have a couple of interesting runners making their first starts, both in race number 5 and in race number 6. But you can see Ed Burgart's morning line. By the way, shout out to Ed Burgart. Ed Burgart, I made the call to the dugout. I said, Ed Burgart, I'm taking the Saturday off. My youngest is having a birthday. We want to celebrate. Can you come off the bench for me? Jose, I'm there. Send me the private plane. I'll be right there. So Ed Burgart is going to be on set at TVG on the quarters there, both Saturday and Sunday night for me. So Ed Burgart should be ready to go for this weekend. It should be very fun to see Ed there in the studio.
It's like almost like when the closer comes in, to finish, finish out the 9th inning, and they play, some really cool rock song coming in. What's going to be Ed Burgart's walk-up song, right? As
what's his walk-up song?
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say something from Aerosmith. Maybe something from Aerosmith. I think that's one of his bands. So maybe something from Aerosmith. But yeah, Ed Burgart's going to be there. So what closer would we compare Ed Burgart with? What Dodger closer? Who's Burgart?
Well, it's got to be the greatest Dodger closer of all time, right? Kenley Jansen coming in.
But he's playing for the Braves.
Yeah, yes,
he's still playing for the Braves. All right. Well, good to see Ed Burgart. He's going to be on set. Make sure you tune into the TVG the quarters this weekend. He'll be working alongside Caleb Keller on this Saturday and Sunday night for Los Alamitos. All right, race number 5, Professor G, the start of the pick six. Chester Carlson at 5-2 on Ed Burgart's morning line. Alfonso at 2-1. But what did you think of the first-time starter, Doctor's Guy, a homebred by Dr. Ed Allred, owned by Junior's Quarter Horses? They paid $100,000 for this well-bred gelding, and he comes off of a 1250 workout.
Yeah, half brother to Vessel's Maturity hopeful monopolist. So we might see a couple of siblings in the winner's circle tonight, but a nice morning line odds there for the number 4 Doctor's Guy at 5-1. I made him my top selection in this race, even though Chester Carlson looks pretty tough as well in that race. But how about we look at that workout, Jose, from Doctor's Guy, working from the outside here against a horse by the name of Running with the Wave. They're both going to go 12-5. Here we go with Doctor's Guy from the outside. He broke in a little bit, settled into a nice stride right away. He was under a hand ride. Pretty even with the rival, and then ended up out finishing Running with the Wave. That's kind of what I like from this effort, because he's the one that had a little bit of a mistake there by kind of going towards the inside, but got into his stride pretty quickly, and then out finish the rival, and then from there a solid gallop out between the two, and if you see there, Dr. Guy kind of eating up the ground late under restraint. The jockey kind of had a little bit of a hold in that gallop out. So I thought all in all, a pretty good work for Doctor's Guy at 5-1. I'll take those odds.
Yeah, he's the one that kind of, I like the way he finished up the cue of kind of eating up ground on the workmate and catching that one in the final strides and getting up. And Dr. Guy, like you mentioned, is from the family of monopolists, which makes him from the family of was it Frivolous a couple of weeks in the trials for the
That's right.
Yeah, Frivolous. And the other sibling that was in there, I believe Sicario. Yeah, Sicario V was also in there. So very high quality bloodlines. And Doctor's Guy, they paid $100,000 for him at the Los Angeles Equine Show, owned here by Junior's Quarter Horses.
You also get Jesus Rios Ayala up on Doctor's Guy. So that's always nice to see when you have one of the nation's leading riders, taking this opportunity on a well-bred horse.
Despite Chester Carlson drawing the inside post, I gave him the check mark here for me. I just thought it was a pretty solid second. Party Politics ended up qualifying for the Ed Burke, I believe, for the 9th fastest time on trials night.
Born to Fly has also done some good things as well. Just won a trial to the kindergarten.
I believe so. Yeah. And Corona Rose, the second place finisher in that debut race, came back to win. So I went 164. So I went with the experience, 164. Alfonso there drawing the outside post, ran well from the outside post last time out. and the doctor's guy off of that workout. So the first leg of the pick six, 164 in that order for me, Professor G.
Okay, I went a little bit different. 4-1-3. 4-1-3. Kind of playing a little bit against the favorite there, the number 6, Alfonso. So kind of roll the dice there and see if we can upset the favorite.
Second leg of the pick six, another maiden event, 300 yards here in this spot, and we got a field of 6. And also we have all experienced runners except one first-time starter. So kind of the same scenario as the first leg, and another well-bred runner. This is always a chance by Ferrer Cartel out of Elan's Last. They paid $127,000 for this one. Junior's quarter horses there at the Los Alamitos Equine Sale, also bred by Dr. Ed Allred. And this one makes him a sibling to that Edberg Milling winner, Chance to Excel, right?
Absolutely right, and kind of the same connections as well. The owners, the trainer, the jockey, same group as we were talking about with Doctor's Guy. Always a chance. Worked on April 26th. It was the inside horse here, and he's going to run against a horse by the name of Fired Up for This. Again, always a chance from the inside post. 12-2 for Fire Up for This, who's going to win this work. 12-3 for Always a Chance. And Always a Chance came away pretty strongly, moved in a pretty nice straight fashion. Competed gamely with Fire Up for This early on. They continue to work hard. But Always a Chance ended up finishing a neck behind his foe. But then look at the way this horse continues during that gallop out under, pretty solidly here. And then he goes under a big hold right there around the turn. Overall, good-looking war for both of those runners. One of them going 12-2, Always a Chance going 12-3.
And remember, that workout was back on April 26th, so it's been a while ago, a while ago. I'm fired up for this one. Off of that drill, came back to win his debut, and I think in a very impressive fashion, if I remember correctly. So that was a debut winner that he was working with way back on April 26th. That's Always a Chance. So I like that effort. Always a Chance to me. I like the way he was galloping out, like you mentioned there. It looked like he was just catching his rhythm once they hit the finish line. So well bred, good work, good gallop out. Always a Chance there for me in race number 6 is my top selection. So I went 3, 4, and 6. Hard to know. Finished third to Ain't He Tempting. Ain't He Tempting came back to post the fastest qualifying time for the Edberg Million. And then the Hattery, who showed some gate speed first time out and now switches to the outside post.
I actually went with the 4. Hard to know. This horse finished third in that race. And like you mentioned, Ain't He Tempting, fastest qualifier to the Edberg. Good wagon. I know Lindolfo Diaz really liked that horse. He was kind of, hopeful that the horse could go in the Edberg trials. That didn't happen, but he's very high on good wagon for later on this season. Hard to know. Ended up kind of getting himself into some trouble, bumped into some horses, got disqualified in place 6 in that race, but still he's shown some ability. Finished second first time out, and then it comes back and kind of has that interesting trip there. I'll go with the 4. Hard to know in this race. With the 1, First Nava Cartel, my second selection, and Always a Chance rounding up like top 3.
That's the second leg of the pick 6, and also part of that rolling pick 3's opportunities there throughout the card. Let's skip ahead to race number 8 because that is the first of 3 trials for the vessel's maturity. $10,000 is a purse for these trials. All trials are 400 yards. Top 10 fastest of the night will advance to that final. 4-year-olds and up. We briefly spoke about this field, Professor G. It is a field of 7. Up is up, draws the outside post. Belichick, a classy runner there that is now switching to the barn of Santos Perez. But all eyes will be on the classy Circle City, who comes out of a sharp win in the Cahuilla Bar, Professor G.
9 wins in his career. He's a multiple stakes winner. I believe he's got 4 stakes wins under his belt. Winner of the Vessel's Maturity last year, winner of the Spencer Childers last year, won the Cahuilla Bar last out, and as a 3-year-old won the Golden State Derby. So Circle City approaching the $500,000 mark in earnings. Just a very classy horse. And we have to remember that when he won the Vessel's Maturity last year, he ran second to Up is Up, and they're meeting again in this trial, Jose. And I know that Up is Up has shown that when he's on the top of his game, he is very, very good.
Yeah, Up is Up upset Circle City with trouble way back when on June 21st. He came back with a little bit of a flat effort in the Cahuilla bar, but he's trying to turn the tables on Circle City in this spot. Circle City looks plenty tough, looks very, very sharp here. Who do you think is the main threat to Circle City? Is it You Can Run from the rail?
I actually selected Up is Up
Nice.
as my second selection in this race, and went with You Can Run as my third selection. We'll see what You Can Run can bring. I mean, he was outstanding in the Go Man Go handicap last year, but we have to remember this horse was scratched out of the Cahuilla bar as well, out of his last start. So we'll see what he brings to the table this time around. He did have a turn and work on April 14th, going a solid 12-4. That's a pretty good turn and work time. So when he's on another horse that when he's at the top of his game, just like all these really good horses, he can certainly deliver a big effort. But to me, Circle City, if he's on his game, he's definitely the horse to beat here. I had a chance to talk to Scott Willoughby, who's going to be very busy this weekend. He's got 3 horses in these trials. Circle City, he's got Up and Atom, and he also has Gentleman Chuck going in these trials. Here's Scott Willoughby, who has also entered a mare in the Abigail Kawananakoa that is running on Sunday night. So here's Scott Willoughby. And we're here in the barn of trainer Scott Willoughby, the always busy Scott Willoughby, especially on big weekends such as this one. And Scott, we have the trials of the Vessel's Maturity, and right next to you, the defending winner of the Vessel's Maturity, the outstanding Circle City. Quite a resume this runner has built, and just a joy to have around, right?
Oh, he's a great horse to be around. He's got a lot of personality, and he's turned into a heck of a horse.
Coming off of a victory in the Cahuilla Bar Handicap, just another strong effort. And that's just kind of what he delivers every time, just consistency. How do you see him coming into these trials?
He's doing fantastic. Training great. Breezed really well the other day. He's setting on tilt, so we'll see how he runs.
You have a couple of runners also going in the Vessel's Maturity trials. Up and Atom, you were talking about what a nice workout he had recently.
He worked 17.6 from the gate. Looked great doing it. Came back, he was just barely breathing. He's doing fantastic.
As a 2-year-old, there were very few better than him here at Los Alamitos.
He looked like he was going to be one of our best horses, period. And, he got sick on us and had to skip his 3-year-old year and part of his 4-year-old year. And he's come back great.
Gentleman Chuck, winner this season, already in the allowance ranks, has the ability to run big races, a Grade 1 finalist. So you have him in the final trial.
He's stepping up. He's got to improve a little bit. He's hooked up pretty tough in that race, but he's got to improve a little bit. But he's a nice horse and seems to be on the improve right now.
How do you think he'll do from that post position, kind of towards the inside? He's shown that he can break quick.
He'll be fine. He can get away quick. That horse next to him is pretty quick as well. And if they can get out there and get hooked up, and he can qualify.
And on Sunday, we have the inaugural running of the Abigail Kawananakoa. And once again, you have a top mare in action up for you, hooking up with the best mares on the grounds.
Yes, and she's doing fantastic. She's just really come into herself. She's gotten bigger and stronger. Every time we run her, she just gets better, and she's looking great.
Thanks so much for the time, and looking forward to another big weekend here at Los Alamitos, and of course, one of our top trainers here, Scott Willoughby.
Thank you.
There's a barn that will be busy this weekend. Scott Willoughby, plenty of nice contenders, not only on Saturday, but also on Sunday. So he's got some classy older runners like Circle City at even money, which will be the favorite in the first of 3 trials for the Vessel's Maturity here on Saturday night. Race number 9, there's 2 races left. You know what time it is. Late double time. Dave Weaver loved that throw there for the late double on Sunday night. Last Sunday was good to work with Dave the Dream Weaver. And Valiant, I was surprised at this morning night, Professor. I did not expect to be this strong of a morning night favorite, but that just opens up the prices for other runners in this spot. But there's a good field assembled of 6 runners. Mr. Tornado, Christopher Wade's pick there towards the outside at 7-2. La Estrella Corona has shown flashes of talent at times, but she's been a little bit difficult to ride as well. But how about Up and Adam, Professor? I know he doesn't have as a lofty resumes as others in this spot, but he's a runner that when he's on his A game, he's right there in the mix with some of the best runners of his division.
Well, Scott Willoughby said it. He's coming out of just a superb workout from the gate, going 17.6. It was a solo drill. I don't know if you're able to cue that up for the fans so they can take a look at that workout from Up and Adam. And, if this horse can just break consistently, he definitely has all the talent in the world. That's what he was doing as a 2-year-old, just, breaking a lot sharper. Here's his drill. And this will be, Jose, on May 17th. It's going to be a 17.6 clocking, Jose, and just about as perfect a work as you can see. He had a slight little bobble leaving, but recovers super fast, edging towards the inside a little bit, but he leveled that off about 100 yards into the work, and from there, just perfection. Look at the way he finishes, beautiful stride there. He put his head down, went to work, sizzled to the wire, and that was under a nice hand right there, and continue moving sharply past the wire. And look at this long gallop out here. This horse definitely feeling good this morning, and hopefully feels good in the evening as well, and delivers a nice effort. It's a pretty competitive race, pretty wide open, I thought. But yeah, number 1, Valiant. He's the morning line choice, and he's done nothing wrong here at Los Al. Won his debut here, and then ran a solid third to Circle City and Cattail Cove. Those are 2 outstanding runners. So Valiant, gets the check mark, and as far as the morning line is concerned, I actually picked them on top in this one.
If Up and Adam runs to that workout, they're in trouble. Like if he runs back, if he breaks as well he did in the races like he did in that workout, there might be in trouble. That was about as perfect as a workout as you can have for a runner like him, because he's not always the best breaker, but when he breaks, his late kick is always there. It's all about getting out of the gate and getting that path to run. So he looks ready to go off the layoff. Valiant has gate speed. He showed it in that 300-yard win. He showed it in the Cuya bar. So he's taking plenty. He's going to be taking plenty of support for Valentin Zamudio. A runner that I think could be an interesting price, Professor, is Copaino Best.
Yeah,
I know he running line only shows a nose win, but to be able to get the win, given the trip, I thought was impressive because he didn't break all that well, lost a little bit of momentum, and then had to recover and still put up a very nice game win there, Copaino's Best. And then 3 starts ago, we rarely see this comment. Broke to the gate, much the best. We rarely see a breaking through the gate and even just a win. So when he's still proving much the best despite breaking through the gate, that shows you that he has a lot of talent. So I think Copaino's Best is an interesting horse here in this spot.
He couldn't wait to get going, Jose. That's why he broke through the gate. I mean, look at the way that line goes. He was up ahead by a head. Then halfway, he's up by a half. He ends up winning by 3/4 of a length. If this race is 400 yards, he's probably winning by a length and a half the way this horse continued strong. So, like you mentioned, just, you don't see that very often. A horse that definitely is feeling good, comes back and wins his last time out. That's the one thing about Up and Adam. You have to go back to 2019 to his last victory. And you have some horses here that are, pretty sharp. Have been winning races recently. But all in all, I think this field, you can pick just about any horse in this group, and they can come away with a victory.
What do we make of a runner like Speed Dynasty, who brings a very good resume from New Mexico and Albuquerque, a stakes winner of the La Fiesta back in September 2020, has now raced since August of last season, but he joins a local high percentage run. He's proven at this distance, so lots of things to like about a runner like Speed Dynasty.
And I like this workout as well. I thought the way the horse finished those last 150 yards was pretty encouraging. Armando Cervantes up, and that time was 18 flat, so solid overall. And you've seen what this horse has done. I mean, he qualified. He made the consolation to the Rainbow Derby last year. And that to be among the top 20 in one of those Derby trials in Ruidoso, that's not an easy task. And before that, won a $250,000 futurity in New Mexico as well. It had been winning, all kinds of times. 4 out of 5 races?
Yeah,
a nice win streak there. So yeah, like you said, a lot to like there on Speed Dynasty. lot to like from all of these runners.
La Estrella Corona has been a runner that has been nice to my pocketbook a few times. She's going to be tested for class here. She can be difficult to ride, but also she has shown flashes of talent. I mean, that trial win that she shows in 1979, 4 starts ago, kind of tells you that there is some talent there, but she's not always the best getting out of the gate. She's now in the barn of Santos Perez and Irving Lara. And Mr. Tornado, I think he's going to take money because his stakes win 2 starts ago, Professor, was from the outside post, was with Henry Lopez. So there's something to kind of correlate the handicapping there, that he's getting the outside and he's reunited with Henry Lopez.
Yeah, he can be surprising at times and get a win here and there, no matter what the competition is. The interesting thing about La Estrella Corona, Jose, the only mare from the 20, only female that is participating in these trials.
Interesting. La Estrella Corona, Irving Lara. She should be a nice, healthy price, and you can make a case for every one of these runners in this middle trial. I think it's a very intriguing trial here in the second. Final race of the evening, the final trial of the night for the Vessel's Maturity. Top 10 fastest times. We'll move on to the final. Messenger, Monopolist, Impressum, Gentleman Chuck, Don't Ride the Slide, Cattail Cove, and BF Alfus will lead the field. But let's start top to bottom. Messenger, still searching for a win. Will be a big price for Ruben Lozano and Luke Lindsay. Still searching for a first win at 400 yards. But Monopolist, Professor G, ran about as good of a fourth as you can, given the trouble that he had back in that Southern California Derby.
I'm not used to not seeing Monopolist run at Los Alamitos. It's been a while, so it's great to see him back. It's been over 6 months, so the horse is coming in very fresh. And we saw what he did last year when he came in after having some time off. He had a tremendous victory in the trials of the Governor's Cup Futurity, Governor's Cup Derby, I should say, Governor's Cup Derby, when he won by 3 lengths. And that was after about a 4-month break. So this horse, when he comes in fresh, he can deliver some huge efforts. He's coming off of a really nice workout, 17.6. The beginning of that work wasn't, super impressive. He kind of got into a little bit of trouble, kind of a little bit of an awkward getting out of the gate there. And we'll see this work right now, Jose.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of a scrambling, kind of an awkward stride, but then he picks up the pace.
Yeah, he was leaning to the right, it looked like, when he got going. But he gets running about 50 yards into the work, goes a little bit to the inside. But look at the way he's moving here. That's the Monopolist that we've seen win so many races here at Los Alamitos. And then he looked really good in the final 100 yards of that work. And then just maintains that high level of action throughout the gallop out. So Monopolist, I can't wait to see Monopolist and Impressum going right next to each other. The champion Impressum, a winner of 3 derbies last year, Jose.
Yeah, it is. So this is going to be very interesting here. Monopolist has shown the ability to break on top and break quick. But I think Impressor probably brings a better resume as far as getting out of the gate in good order. Look at his resume, 13 for 18, a millionaire. He loves the distance. He loves 440. He's just a classy runner here for Heath Taylor and Rodrigo Sigala Vallejo.
What a 2021. He had 9 wins from 10 starts. Just in that year alone, he almost made $1 million.
Yeah.
Winning the Ruidoso Derby, the Rainbow Derby, qualified to the All-American Derby, and just had a poor break and some traffic. Those are the comments in that race. Ended up running 5th, but look at the way he finished in that race, because he was 9th at the start before flying to run 5th, finishing in the upper half. Instigator's the only horse that has beaten him on that, that you can see there on those past performances. Beat him in the All-American Derby and also beat him in the championship at Sunland Park. That's the only horse other than Impressum that you see with a victory on that page.
He's a classy runner. There's Gentleman Chuck, who we were talking about. Scott Willoughby there. He's got this runner in. He's a runner that has shown that late kick at times. He hasn't raced at 400 yards in a while, actually, since March of last year, when he was facing up with BF Alfus and even Monopolist and Flashback in the Winter Derby. So he hasn't had the opportunity to stretch his legs to 400 yards in a while. Jonathan Roman will have them out. Don't Ride the Slide, second time in the barn of Adan Farias, second time off the layoff. he ran into that speedster Gulfstream 650. I think Gulfstream 650 has won maybe 4 or 5 times
So
at
fast.
110 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's so fast.
he's so fast, and he stretches his speed to 300 yards. So no disregard in finishing third there behind that classy runner. And there's the old pro Cattail Cove. He's been in some big dances throughout his career, Professor G, and he pretty much brings a very game effort every single time.
I mean, so many seconds and thirds at the highest level.
Yeah.
Ran second in the 2019 Los Alamitos 2 million futurity. You see that he's finished third in the Go Man Go, second in a couple of other stakes races, including the Kaweah Bar Handicap recently, running the Brad McKenzie Championship earlier this year. So just class personified from Cattail Cove, is gelding by Favorite Cartel, the owner, Ling Newcomb, just big, strong supporter of quarter horse racing here at Los Alamitos. You can bet that he's going to be on the grounds enjoying his horse perform. Solid connections, Ramon Sanchez. No one's won more stakes races than Ramon Sanchez here at Los Alamitos. And, of course, Juan Alaman, a tremendous trainer. So, lot to like about Cattail Cove. And rounding out the field, speaking of horses that like to make the dances, BF Outfus has done just that.
Yeah, and I remember VF Afus early in his career when he was still, looking for that maiden diploma because he was still showing signs of talent. He's kind of put it all together as a 3-year-old. You can see the El Primero there, Governor's Cup, PCQHRA. He was unprepared. He kind of moved right as they were opening the gates and pretty much was unlucky during his first start of the season. So he's considered maybe a fresh runner because he didn't get to really show much in his first start back on May 21st.
Yeah, and gets a new rider there. Armando Cervantes is going to see what he can do on BF Outfus.
All right, Professor. Who did you pick on top? Impressive or Monopolist? Who did you go in the night lines?
I went ahead and went with Impressum, Jose.
Okay.
Went with the multiple Derby winner, the millionaire, Monopolist. It's going to be close. I could see Monopolist right there with Impressum. It's going to be a really good race. Impressum has been wanting to, been getting ready to run for this in these Vessels Maturity for a while now. When Taylor brought him out here, that was the race that, they point him to, the Vessels Maturity. So he's been pointing for this race for a while.
Should be fun. This is Monopolist home court, obviously. Impressive coming into LaSalle for the first time at night. He brings a good resume. They both can show very good, strong leg kicks. They both have shown the ability to break fast, and they both draw side by side. This is going to be a very fun trial to complete the evening on Saturday night.
And who did you pick?
I went Impressive over Monopolist over Cattail Cove. I think that's the way it looks.
Yeah, that's what it did as well.
I think if the position would have been flipped, Professor,
yeah,
I probably would have flipped my selections. Like if a Monopolist was drawn outside of Impressive, I think I would have flipped my selections. But I think Impressive being outside of Monopolist gives them that opportunity to get the jump early on and make it a little bit tight on Monopolist. But it should be a good duel there down the stretch.
Well, if the rest does Monopolist well, just like it did last year, I mean, I don't think there's a horse in the country that can beat him, the way that he ran last year in those trials to the Governor's Cup Derby. If he has that same performance, he wins this race. But, that was just such an incredible race. I'm going to give the edge here to impress him tonight. Monopolist, though, I'm excited to see this duel.
Should be fun. It's going to be a fun weekend of 3 trials. Classy older runners facing up in a spot for the Vessels Maturity. And the Vessels Maturity will be run on
July 3rd,
which will be part of our doubleheader. So daytime season will be underway by then. And also special Monday racing on Independence Day, July 4th. Ed Burghart's birthday, by the way, July 4th.
That's right.
And you'll be having the NHC contest on site on that Monday, right?
Yeah, on July 4th, we'll have 2 berths to the National Handicapping Championship in Las Vegas for next year. So you can qualify here at Los Alamitos, represent Los Al, and you get a berth and also travel money along with all the winnings that you can have here at Los Alamitos, winning the, doing well in the handicapping contest. A live money contest, $500 to enter, and a $400 live wagering voucher. Jose, I got, we're waiting on Thursday night to see the field for the Abigail Kawananakoa, the inaugural running. But I can give you a little taste on the top mares that will be in action in the Abigail Kawananakoa. We get a rematch.
I'll take it.
Champion H mare Kiss Through Fire. Nice. Jet Wings 1, who's gotten the better of the mare division the last few outings. Jet Wings 1, I believe, is undefeated this season. One has won a couple of stakes races already. Shining Star, who's a stakes winner. She's nominated. Inaudible had a nice workout recently, and now getting ready to compete in the Abigail Sweet Expectations, College Scandal, and like Scott Willoughby mentioned, Up For You will be going in the Abigail. So those are the 7 runners that I can tell you right now are looking to run in the Abigail Kawananakoa on Sunday night.
Sounds like a classy field. Probables there for the Abigail Kawananakoa, and that'll be a Sunday night. And I would assume that would be the final race on the card on Sunday, which will close out the late pick 4 and pick 6 as well. Any news about the upcoming daytime season? Because I know is it opening on Friday? Is that the opening day?
No, we're going to open Saturday night. Saturday during the day.
Yeah.
The Bertrando Stakes is the feature attraction on that Saturday. Of course, like you mentioned, on the weekends, we're going to have the double headers. So we'll run Saturday and Sunday for opening daytime. And the following week, we'll run Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Monday being 4th of July, of course. And we close out with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on the final week. Closing day is July the 10th. July 9th is the running of the Los Alamitos Derby during the daytime. So that's what's happening. 9 racing days for this upcoming summer meet.
And
so you're going to ask me any new updates on the Wiener Nationals?
Yes, I was going to ask you because we'll have the half mid-season finals of the 1,000-yard point system on that 26th as well. And then the Wiener Nationals immediately will have them on Sunday, right? In July on Saturday the
16th. Yeah. So got 100 entries.
Whoa.
And still flowing. So we're going to have a big night of Wiener Nationals action. Wiener Dogs are heading our way, Jose. With I'm expecting 10 trials, full fields, a lot of fun, a lot of barking. The dogs will be out at Los Alamitos.
Are you holding any training sessions?
Absolutely, yeah. We need to. Otherwise, it's a mess. Otherwise, they'll be running backwards all over. But yeah, we'll help them out. We'll train them here at Los Al. We'll do a couple of those training sessions. We do those like Mondays and Wednesdays as we get closer to the big Saturday of the Wiener Nationals. Our 25th running, getting ready with 100 Wiener Dogs.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. Can't wait. It feels like forever since we haven't had them in a few years. So good to be. It's always one of the best nights of the season at Los Alamitos because we get to meet a lot of new friends. A lot of new fans out of the races and lots of Wiener Dogs running around. It's always fun. It always leads to a little bit of chaos in the races because we have dogs not getting out of the gate. A few dogs running backwards. Some trampling over each other, some making a U-turn midway through the race. I mean, it's chaos out there. It's absolutely chaos.
It's unorganized chaos for sure.
Yes, can't wait. Will this be Mike Wrona's first time calling the Wiener Nationals?
It certainly will be. It certainly will be the first time. Yes.
Get ready, Michael. Get ready.
He's going to have some great lines.
Yes, he will. So can't wait. Lots of things happening here at Los Alamitos. As always, thank you for all the information and keeping us up to date, Professor G. And can't wait for those trials. Best will be Trudy trials here this weekend, Saturday at Los Al. And our post time is scheduled around 6 p.m., right?
No, on Saturday we're gonna go at 7:15. Remember,
Belmont.
Yeah, so 7:15 p.m. But you don't have to worry about it. You'll be you'll be living it up. You're on vacation, so
I'll,
what do you
I'll be.
what do you care what post time we have?
I'm gonna be. I'm
Fans
gonna
out
be
there
in.
don't care.
I'm gonna be in charge. Probably at that time, I'll be on top of a 15-foot ladder, holding a
with a
rope
piñata?
with a piñata.
There you go.
Just dangling for my life, Professor. I'll be like this, holding onto the rope, thinking about I should be on set. Why did I decide?
Exactly.
Why did I decide to stay home tonight instead? But that's what I'll be doing on Saturday night.
Yeah. But that's after you've had probably like 15 tacos or something.
Yes, yeah.
Some jarritos,
some tacos.
Modelo, I don't know.
So hopefully they don't mistake me for the piñata, and that'll be considered a success.
Be safe.
So I'll be
safe out there.
Be safe. Have lots of fun for me out there this weekend, Professor Yi. I'll be watching from home. Thank you for everything, all you do.
Thanks so much, Jose, and thanks for the fans for everything, all the support they give us.
We'll see you next weekend here on the preview show for Los Alamitos.